Okay, we're back on our original brochure, and we're using several different fonts here, really two font families and some variations between the two. For these headers, let's see, we're using Myriad Arabic, and for this body text as well as these subheaders, excuse me, the body text, as well as this condensed body text here, we're using this Museo Sans condensed, and that is from Typekit, which if you have a Creative Cloud membership, you have access to the Typekit fonts. So what we're going to do, we can do this a couple different ways. We can come over here and we can actually create text boxes and then assign them the fonts, or we can just do it on the fly. So we're just going to create our text box, and you'll notice if I put my cursor over the graphic, it changes to a little circle thing, which means if I click on here, it's actually going to put the text on that shape as opposed to creating another text layer that we would put over the shape, which is, I want to do the latter, not the former. So I'm going to move it off so I have a square text box, and just create a text box. Come over to my character palette, and I've already forgotten what I used, Myriad Arabic. So I'll find the Myriad Arabic, and I don't think I have that one, so I'm just going to go with Myriad Pro for now, and go ahead and change my size up. Let's try 30 for starters to 015. Yep, probably needs to be a little bit larger than that. Okay, so in order to change colors, we'll just highlight it, and again, we come up here to our colors, and we're not going to put a color on the stroke, but we're going to make the fill white. So we'll just change that to, oh, no, what we need to do, that's actually changing the, this is an important concept here. I have the box where the text is highlighted, and I have the fill selected to the box. I don't want that. I want the text selected. So for example, if I did select that and turn the box white and then dragged it up here, you'd say I got a big white box. That's not what I want. So I'm going to make the box none, and I'm going to make the text white. Okay, makes sense? So now I can just mess with the sizing of the font, and sometimes I use my arrow keys for, and again, I'm going to zoom in using Command plus, and I use my arrow keys to get really exact placement. And that looks about right. So once I do that, I can actually shrink up my text box so that it fits perfectly around. I'm just anal about the boxes, and if I'm in this view, sometimes I can see a bunch of boxes that are bigger than my text. So if I double click, it will just wrap the actual box right around the text, and that's what I want. Now, if I wanted to not see all those guides, I could come up here to my view and change my screen mode to preview, or I could do it right here, change my screen mode to preview, and all of the boxes and the guides and things go away, and I can see exactly what the brochure will look like when it's printed. But I'm going to keep it on normal view for now. So then we have our, see, I actually put my line, it should be up here, shouldn't it? So I'm going to bring another guide down, put that about right there, drag my line up to it. Do I have two lines? No, that's perfect. So that really sort of splits that. It's probably, I really ought to have that in the middle. I really don't need that guide there. I'm just kind of doing this by eye now. So I'll create another text box right here. Stretch that across. we have Advanced Planning Symposium, still in the Myriad Pro bold font, and we'll type Advanced Planning and let's get that big. It's a little too big, so we'll and was that gray or was that, yeah, that's that same gray. So, and again, in order to do that, we'll select the box, pull up our fill, make sure we select our text, go down and grab our gray, and there we have our Advanced Planning Symposium. I actually did that lowercase. There we go. And now we have another header underneath that. So I'm just going to copy that text box, pull that down, keep it about the same. Now that I've got the bounding box right where it needs to be, I will now copy it. Now they're equal distance, but this time we're using Myriad, a lighter weight, a regular weight. So let's go to a regular weight. And we'll call that Ritz-Carlton's New Orleans, Louisiana. And that looks a little, let's see if we have a condensed version of this. Kind of like that a little bit better. And now we've got our text box. So we'll create a text box. And then do we have anything underneath it? Yeah, we have the dates. You'll see the last text box I created had a stroke on it. So this has put a stroke. No, wait, I created an object, didn't I? Sorry, text box. There we go. False alarm. All right, so now I'm just going to actually come over here, and this was that Museo Sans. So I'll go find my Museo Sans. Let's see, it's a 300 weight. That's a 300 weight. So I can actually just copy this text and paste. Okay, so it's red text, and as I paste it in, it's a little bit bigger, so I can drop that down, change my text red. Once again, I always do this. None text red. All right, you get the gist of how I'm going about doing this. The next thing I want to show you is pulling in the headshots. And if I come over here to my Finder and go find my folder, I have all my speakers here. So you see I got 4 of them. And what I want to do is start pulling their heads in. Which order do I have them? So I can either click on that and then go, I can do a file place, or I can just pull up my Finder window and find my folks and just drag them right to the thing. Okay, and much like we did with the picture up top, Um, we can click on the picture, move it around, resize it. And again, I'm getting the full thing by holding my mouse button down. And in this case, I'm holding my Shift and my Command down to resize and keep the picture proportionate. So let's just move that now, and all I really want to do is just get this picture sized so that it fits nicely and looks somewhat professional. Okay, maybe that's probably about the best I can do with it. So you'll notice if we go back over to our brochure that the pictures are black and white, but here we have a color picture. So there's a couple of different ways to do this. Um, One way is to right click on the picture and go hit edit original, and this will pull up your picture in the preview, and you've got some tools here to do some things. I could take the saturation and drop it down, but this will actually change the original picture, which in this case is totally fine with me. But if you have a picture that you're also using for other projects, you're probably going to want to make a copy of it, so that if you make some changes to the picture, then it's only going to affect this project and won't affect other things that it's linked to. The other thing that you can do is you can edit it in Photoshop, and I'll do that by going to Edit with Photoshop, and you can pull in our guy here and Randy, and just apply a black and white adjustment layer to the picture. So now uh, I've applied a black and white filter, and I can save that. It's actually going to save it as a PSD file. So I've got a duplicate, and what I need to do then is to go back and relink to the black and white picture. So I'm going to hit my links here. It's right down at the bottom of the typography menu. I'm going to click this little chain link. That's going to pull me up, and I don't see my PSD, and that happens. I don't know exactly why. Somebody who's watching this might be able to tell me, but sometimes I've got to save the file or close it and open it up before the new file will show back up. So let me hit save and now try to do it. Link, and he's still not there. So the other easy way to do this is just to grab my Finder and pull it back down. There you go. So we'll do it the easy way. So now we've got a few other folks, and we just have to do the exact same thing. We're going to pull these people down into the frames and go through exactly the same process. So what I'll do first is I'm going to resize him. Now, when I size it, another trick is I can hold down my Shift to maintain my perspective and my Option button, not Command button, but Option, and that will fix the focal point of the image in the middle, so that as I click on an end and drag it, it resizes just like that. And that might make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to move him down, try to keep his head about the same size as Randy's. That's close. Looks pretty good. This picture is massive, so I'm probably just going to go up here to my uh, uh, picture dimensions, and I can just change that to, let's maybe call it 10p. That's close. Pull him down. So do my same trick, Option Shift, and that's pretty good. Same thing here. A little bit more. use my arrow keys. He looks just slightly too big, so shrink a little bit more there. Move him to the side of the box. And maybe I shrunk him too much. That's probably pretty good. So now I can just go back and basically do the same thing. I'm going to edit with Photoshop and apply a black and white filter. The other place I could do this is do a new adjustment by doing that here. Now that's not going to necessarily create an adjustment layer, that's just going to adjust the image. I like the idea of doing an adjustment layer for black and white, so I could do it here, or I could have done it right here. And I'll close out of that, save, and go back to my Finder, grab Bobby and drag him right here to replace him. And you can see I've already done that with Charlie here, but I don't think I saved it. Let's see, did I save it? Nope. So I'll just go back and redo it. Save. And drag Charlie right over here. Okay, there. Now I have all my guys in black and white. The rest of it is just adding the text like you saw me do earlier and spacing things around so that they look good, but we're well on our way to finishing the first page of the brochure.